Hi, big sis. Can we talk now? Yeah, I just got home from work and was catching my breath. I'm fine anyway. What's going on? I have something to tell you. What is it? Good news or bad news? Very good for me, but not so good for you. What do you mean? I'm curious. Just spit it out. Yeah, well, I have a boyfriend now. Really? Congratulations. That's really good news. Why is it a bad thing for me that you now have a boyfriend? Because my boyfriend is Joe. Joe is your boyfriend? Yes, he is. He's your fiancé and you're getting married in a week. Wait a minute, what do you mean? How can Joe be your boyfriend? Well, actually, Joe is my type of guy. I've liked him ever since you introduced him, so every time I saw him, I couldn't stop my feelings for him. I ambushed him on my way home from work. When? About 2 weeks ago. Huh? Why did you do that when you knew I was engaged to him? Because I've always loved him. I really wanted him to know about my feelings. I wanted to tell him how I felt before he got married to you, so I told him honestly. Sally, what have you done? Joe is the person who's going to marry me. I knew I shouldn't have done that, but I just couldn't stop my feelings. You know what? Joe told me he's interested in me too. No kidding. He said I'm more beautiful than you, that it's hard for him to believe that we're sisters. Besides, he was surprised when he first saw me because I looked so different from you. I was going to give up, but he said he'd always been interested in me. I admit that you are more beautiful than me, but Joe is my fiancé and our wedding is in a week. Are you serious about this? Of course, I'm serious. Even though Joe is your fiancé, I can't stop myself from loving him. That's why we're dating now. What do you mean? Maybe Joe will contact you directly later. He said he's going to break off the engagement. I think he's thinking of marrying me. Oh no, that's never going to happen, not with Joe. I would never believe anything you say. I understand your feeling. I didn't expect that too. I thought it was okay to have a one-sided love with Joe. But in the end, Joe didn't choose you. I can't believe this is really happening. Before Joe contacts you, I thought I should let you know. Because I don't want you to be in great shock. Do you think that's allowed? Then what's going to happen to me? Well, I don't know because I'm not living your life. But I want you to be happy, sis. That's enough. I'll talk to Joe directly. Sis! Hey, answer me! Are you still mad at me? What do you want? I'm sorry you couldn't make it to the wedding. Did you manage to cancel the wedding venue? I'm sure you had rented outfits and made hair and makeup appointments, right? I'm sure it must have been a lot of stuff to cancel. I don't want you to worry about me. Leave me alone. Don't be so cold. I'm still worried about you since I'm your sister. Shut up. How can you steal someone's fiancé and then just text a person with no concern? I don't even consider you my sister anymore. Don't say that. You're still my sister. How many times do you have to take my boyfriend away to satisfy yourself? And to top it all off, you even took my fiancé. You've been like that since I was in high school when I had my first boyfriend. What are you talking about? You stole my boyfriends from me every time I had one. I didn't do that. They all told me they have feelings for me. It's not like I stole them from you. Technically, you weren't chosen. It's because you flirted with them, right? Just because you're a little prettier than me, it doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want. A little bit? For your information, I'm much prettier than you. And I have a nice style too. It's only natural for a guy to choose me instead. I don't get it. What is your main intention of doing that? Doing what? Why are you harassing me like that? Would you just stop hurting me? I can't believe you don't understand. Our parents have been nice only to you. Huh? They always praise you. All of the time. You have an ugly face, but you always know how to behave properly. That's not true. Don't call me ugly. Our parents always cared about you too. Stop saying random things. I won't be fooled. They told me to study hard like you, and also act like you so that my friends will love me. That's what they've been telling me all the time. That's because you're always doing nasty things, pretending to study while reading comic books, or bullying your friends because you don't want to give them sweets. It's only natural for our parents to warn you. You're wrong. Our parents only care about you since you're good at study and you are also well behaved. I don't think so. So, since you took our parents away from me, I decided to take my revenge by taking away important things, including people, from you. Huh? I think you misunderstood our parents all this time. So you've been taking my boyfriend away from me all these years just because of that? That's right. I guess this is my way to take a revenge on you. I'm speechless. I've been hurt all this time just because of your stupid misunderstanding? This is very ridiculous. Ridiculous? I don't think so. Do you know how lonely I've been until this day? You're the one who decided to feel lonely. Our father tried so hard to spend time with you on holidays. Our mother packed as much of your favorite side dish as she could in your lunchbox on picnic day. Why can't you understand their kindness? Shut up. You have no idea how miserable I feel. I think you have a good point there. I also have no idea how you dare to steal someone's fiancé. Honestly, I don't even want to talk to you or look at your face. Can you please stop texting me? You are the one who must stop texting me. Anyway, I'll live a happy life with Joe. Be my guest. I don't need a man who doesn't care about me. How are you, sis? Huh? May I know who I'm talking to? It's me. Who are you? I'm your sister, Sally. Seriously? Of course. I didn't recognize your number. You wouldn't have responded to me if I used my old account, would you? You're right. Well then, I have nothing to say to you. Wait a minute. Don't you think it's rude to treat me like that? Your sweet little sister went to the trouble of texting you. I broke up with Joe, so you don't have to be mad at me anymore. That's not the point. Don't be silly. I don't want to hear your nonsense blabbering ever again. I have nothing to say to you. That's terrible. You don't have to talk like that to me. What are you talking about? I know about that. Know what? I heard you're getting married. How did you find out? I tried to keep it a secret. I didn't want you to know. Don't underestimate me. I have an extensive information network. You don't have to boast of yourself like that. I'll keep quiet about my marriage. I don't want to talk about anything with you ever again. Do I make myself clear to you? Are you sure about that? Huh? Actually, I've met your fiancé. What? You must be kidding me. I'm not kidding. It's Ted, isn't it? How did you know that? I have a bad feeling about this. Really? I've met him before and I'm telling you the truth. I haven't heard anything from him. It's obvious, isn't it? He doesn't want to talk to you about that. Why wouldn't he? Where did you meet him? He works at a very nice place, right? I can't believe you have a fiancé who works at a prestigious company. No way. Did you really meet him? Yes, I did. I ambushed him in front of the company building. What a thing to do. How much more are you going to torment me? Are you trying to take away my fiancé twice? Don't say that. After all, I'm always the chosen one. Tell me how you met Ted. I was standing at the entrance of the building at the right moment. A man with a name tag, Ted Smith, came out of the building. What? He was on his way to buy lunch. Ted went out to buy lunch? That's right. I called out to him and told him about you. Seems that he was the right person. I see. What's with that cold tone? Nothing. So what did you say to him? Well, he told me that I'm a very attractive person, so he wants to go out with me. He also said that he wants to start a serious relationship with me if I don't mind. Even though he's engaged to me? That's what I said too. Then he said that he finally met the woman of his dreams. So he said it doesn't matter. Ted is a really wonderful man, isn't he? Did he really say that? Yes, he's very passionate. We've just met, but he told me that I'm a woman of his dreams. Passionate? Maybe you're right. Anyway, I thought maybe we meant to be together. I think I've heard the same words from you a couple times before. That's rude. This time I'm really serious. And you know what? I'm pregnant with your fiancé's child. Pregnant? What on earth do you think you're doing? Don't you regret doing that? I don't regret anything. Can you forgive me? Yes. Congratulations from the bottom of my heart. What? You're not mad at me? Why should I? Because I'm pregnant with your fiancé's child. It's Ted's child, right? You have to be grateful for that. Well, I won't get angry if you say you won't regret it. Why? Oh, you're sad. I can understand that. Since I'm pregnant, you have no choice but to break off the engagement. It can't be helped. Anyway, it's none of my business. You don't have to tell me about that. Sis, answer me. Now what? Are you enjoying married life? You knew it, didn't you? Knew what? About your ex-fiancé. I don't understand what you're talking about. I mean, Ted was a terrible mama's boy. Mama's boy. So the rumors were true after all. Huh? He's a very handsome and kind man, but the rumor has it that he's a terrible mama's boy. Most of the female employees don't want to marry him. They said there's no point of getting married to a mama's boy, even though he's a good-looking guy. They also said that he's a real disappointment. Huh? But you were engaged to him, right? Didn't you know about that too? Looks like you got the wrong Ted. What do you mean? My fiancé's name is Ted Anderson. Anderson? Yes, there are many employees in that big company who have the same first name. My boyfriend is Ted Anderson, and the one you got married to is Ted Smith. It's a different person. What? Wasn't he your fiancé? Oh no. Then why did he pretend to be your fiancé? He knew that my boyfriend was engaged to me, so when he heard about that from you, he decided to do so in order to get closer to you. I can't believe he did that to me. Ted Smith is looking for a woman who can give birth his heir. His mother told him to do so, but there were rumors spreading around the company, so no one dares to get closer to him. He must have been looking for women in all kinds of places. And because I showed up, he decided to turn me into his target? That's right. You were the perfect prey for him and his mother. They wanted you to give birth to their heir. They never miss a prey they can catch, just like that. No way! I didn't know anything about that. What am I supposed to do? I don't know that either, but after I got your message, I asked my boyfriend about it, and that's when I found out. Because of that, I'm in a lot of trouble now. They treat me like a slave. Is that so? I'm forced to prepare meals in the morning, do laundry, clean the house, and work in the yard. During the day, I am with my mother-in-law all the time. She's the kind of person who won't even pick up the remote control that's right in front of her. If I didn't take care of her, she would put me in the punishment room. I'm surprised to hear there's a punishment room. Also, I didn't know that mother-in-law who treats her son's wife like a slave exists nowadays. Ted doesn't seem to care too. When he came home from work, he didn't even pay attention to me. He just talks happily and flirtatiously with his mother. His mother even followed him into the bedroom. She's sleeping with him. It's so disgusting that I feel like I want to throw up right away. Ew, I absolutely hate that. Looks like he got married to a wrong man. Both of them are telling to give birth to a male heir. They also told me to work as a housekeeper. I can't believe this is really happening since we're not living in the 19th century anymore. What a terrible mother and son. And if I don't give a birth a boy, they told me to keep on trying until the boy is born. What? That's a threat. I agree with you. My mother-in-law said that she'll watch over me and my husband during the intercourse. She also said she'll punish me if my husband wasn't satisfied. Yuck, that's really disgusting. I thought we only see that kind of stuff in movies. I have no doubt that you'll have a hard time for the rest of your life. Sis, I want a divorce. I can't live in this house forever. If possible, I want to leave before we find out the gender of our baby. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. But it's very difficult for me to leave with my mother-in-law nearby me all day long. So please cooperate. I refuse. Why? Why should I help you? Because we're sisters. Isn't it natural to help your sister when she's in trouble? You must be kidding me. Stop blabbering nonsense, Sally. Do you realize how much trouble have you brought into my life? Do you have any idea how much you've hurt me? I would never help you after you took away my fiancé. Don't just say what's convenient for you. But it's just because they happen to like me more than you. It's not my fault. How dare you say that? You initiated the whole thing. Besides, this marriage is your fault. Why is it my fault? It's because you have a fiancé with the same first name. I don't understand. This wouldn't have happened if you hadn't approached him at the first place. That's what you get for trying to take away my fiancé. I don't know why you're so selfish. Then what am I supposed to do? I don't know. You can stay with them, or you can run away to do whatever you want. Gee, I didn't expect you to be such a terrible person. I'm speechless. You're the one who's terrible, you know. Fine then, I'm not asking for your help anymore. I'll ask our parents instead. They care about me, right? They used to care about you. What do you mean by that? They were quite angry when they found out you took my fiancé away from me. They said that they'll turn you away if you dare to come home. Besides, they also said that a daughter who dared to ruin her big sister's engagement isn't a family member. No kidding. Then there's no one to save me. That's the bitter fact you must accept. I don't care since it's not my life anyway, but I just want you to be happy since you're my sister. I'll give you back exactly what you said to me. Do I have to spend the rest of my life in this hellish house? That's too hard to bear. Please, sis, save me. I can't do that. You should taste the humiliation I've been through until today. What a heartless woman you are. I'm begging you so much, but you just ignore me. Nothing you say will change my mind. If you want to leave that house, you'll have to do something about it yourself. Don't say that. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for everything I've done, so forgive me. That's impossible. I'm finally married. I'm happy every day now. I don't want you to interfere with my happiness anymore. I'm not going to interfere your happiness. I just need you to help me. You have deceived me so many times, Sally. so I won't ever be fooled again. I'm sorry, but you're on your own now. I beg you, sis! Save me! Save me from this house! I'm gonna get rid of you, so I'll block you after this exchange. You're kidding, right? Please, wait! You're the only person I can rely on. Goodbye forever, Sally. I wish you luck. After that, Sally gave birth under the watchful eye of her mother-in-law and husband. Fortunately, she gave birth to a boy and was overjoyed at the same time. She was told to get out of the house right after that. Her son will be raised by her husband and mother-in-law. As expected, she had affection for the child she gave birth to, but she had to leave her in-laws' house in tears. Her wish may have been fulfilled, but in exchange, she lost her own child. Sally was really only there to produce a male heir. It's sad, but she has to accept the consequences of her own actions. No one knows where Sally went after she was kicked out. On the other hand, I was happily married and I found out that I was pregnant with my first child. Me and my husband are looking forward to the birth of a healthy baby.
Hey Ellen, are you really not coming to the hospital again? You haven't come to the hospital even once since our father felt ill.
Yeah, not sure I can make it today. Sorry. I have plans and won't be back until evening.
When are you going to have time, for God's sake? You married Dad and he soon became ill. You're his wife. Don't you even care?
His other kids are there, right? What's the problem? I really don't see a problem here. He's way happier having his kids than little old me.
But that doesn't mean you can just ignore this and stay away. At least visit once. Seems the respectful thing to do. My younger brother are saying the same things. Have a little sympathy for Pete's sake.
Yeah, well, I may not have time, but let me think about it. I'll pop in if I can spare the time. Until then, take care of things over there, would you? I'd appreciate it.
Are you kidding me? Spare time? All you're doing is going out drinking with your friends. You have all the time in the world, in my opinion.
Huh? Why do you know that? Oh, I get it. You saw me somewhere, right?
I saw you on social media. Looks like you're having one hell of a good time. Just the other night, you went to some expensive club downtown with those male hookers. You spent thousands of dollars. You even held an extravagant party at your place.
Oh, please, stop it. Are you checking on me because you suddenly fell in love with me? How embarrassing. Actually, it's kind of creepy to tell you the truth.
I wasn't checking. It just happened to be in my usual feed. After all, you married my dad. Forget about that. That's nothing. I want you to stop using all of my father's money for your own enjoyment. Can't you understand the dire situation that my father is in? If my father hears what you've been doing, it'll break his heart.
What is to you, anyways? He's my husband, not yours. I'll do as I like. What's so wrong about a wife using her husband's money?
All I'm saying is for you to think of the circumstances. Your husband is in the hospital. That alone should alarm you. What's more, my father didn't give you permission to use his money. Even if you're married, you spend way over what's normal.
What the hell are you talking about? Don't you even know what your father's total assets are? A few $1,000 is just a drop in the bucket.
At any rate, there is a limit to how much you can spend. Money doesn't grow on trees. You do know that my father's money isn't yours. You didn't earn it.
I think if we're legally married, the money belongs to us both. So I really don't see a problem here. As a matter of fact, Irene, who gives you the right to act as your father's abbreviator anyways?
What are you trying to say? That it doesn't concern me?
Yeah, I guess. You're a grown woman. You have your own family. To me, you just come off as a busybody, always nosing around where you have no business nosing around.
He's my father. I have the right to be a little inquisitive of my father's well-being.
Yeah, well, whatever. Sorry to hurt your feelings. So that's settled. Can I go now? I got a friend waiting on me.
Who's more important to you, this so-called friend or my father?
You're starting to sound like some character in a daytime soap opera.
I'm serious. I'm not joking around.
Yeah, but you do make me laugh sometimes. I gotta go. Look after my hubby for me, would ya? Please, Irene, would you stop calling me? The buzzing is driving me nuts.
What is it?
Is there something you want?
What do you think I want, Ellen? I wish you would just answer your phone. We need to talk.
I said I'm busy. I don't have time to answer the phone. You're always pestering me. What's with the non-stop phone calls? Want to hear my sweet and soothing voice? So, what is it? What do you want?
My father's condition has suddenly worsened. You have to get to the hospital right this moment before it's too late.
His condition has gotten worse? Seriously? Does that mean he doesn't have long? You think maybe he'll never wake up?
You make it sound like he's already passed away. His condition has worsened, but he's alive.
Sorry about that. It's just that you phoned me, so I imagined the worst. Just a natural reaction, that's all. Don't get all high-strung.
I don't care if it's just a natural reaction. How could you say something like that, for crying out loud?
Alright already, I'm sorry. So what? He's gonna be okay, is that what you're saying?
I just talked to the doctor, and he said some grime diagnosis, but if he can just get through this right now, and his fever goes down, then maybe, maybe...
Oh, right, I figured as much. Finally, huh? It was way longer than I expected.
Longer than? What are you talking about?
Your dad was already physically pretty weak when we married, right? So, I figured I would get his inheritance right away without having it all dragged out. But he seems to be hanging on even now. But maybe the long wait is over, huh? I was getting worried that his word would go on for months or maybe years. That would have been hell.
Hang on a second, Ellen. Are you seriously saying that? Although you haven't been married for long, the fact does not change that he's your husband.
Right back at you, Irene. Do you really believe what you just said? Do you realize how old your father is, for goodness sake? He's like the same age as my folks. Did you really think I loved him? You're way dumber than I thought if you believed that. Now you're the one making jokes, Irene.
Are you telling me that you married my father just for his money?
You really think I would marry an old sick cheeser like your father? Out of love?
For the love of God, you're delusional.
But I did fulfill my spousal obligations. You have no right to accuse me of anything, my dear.
What spousal obligation? All you did was use my father's money to enjoy yourself. Not once did you visit my father in the hospital. How could you even say that?
After his previous wife passed away, I was the one who cheered him up. He was crying out of companionship. He said he was lonely, and I satisfied his needs. That's all he wanted. I paid my dues to him. No one can fault me for that, much less you.
Your attitude is despicable. Don't you have a modicum of sympathy for my father?
Please, don't start with the melodrama again. I'm really not in the mood. Just text me when he's gone, okay? I'll make sure I attend his funeral. I can do that much. But all the preparations are too much for me, so you guys handle that part, okay?
I can't believe the lack of respect you have towards my father. I can never forgive you for this. Just remember that. Do you really think everybody who attend the funeral will even talk to you?
The only people who'll be coming to the funeral will be relatives and from the people of work. Right? After the funeral, they'll just end up as total strangers to me. I don't really give a damn what they think of me, to be honest. Okay, so don't forget to call me. See ya.
Hey, Irene. Must have been pretty hectic with the funeral and all.
You're the eldest, so it must have been hard on you.
My brothers were here with me. They helped me out, so it's fine. Unlike someone I know.
You sound kinda upset. You are, aren't you? You're mad at me.
I can't understand why you would think otherwise. Actually, I'm furious. You didn't even show up after my father died. You really had the nerve show up at the funeral? If you weren't my father's wife, I would have taken that broom and kicked you out of there.
Goodness me. No need to get so angry, Irene. You continue to be angry like that, you'll never know happiness. Light up.
Sorry, but I really can't stoop to your level. And why the hell are you texting me? I want nothing more to do with you. I'm pretty busy right now, so I wish you would just make it quick.
You don't have to be so rude. Oh well, whatever. I just want to verify something with you. That family meeting to discuss what's going to happen going forward, that's tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow at noon. What do you care?
Care? Of course I care. What are you, nuts? The most important issue has to be discussed. I also wanted to convey something to you to make sure there is no misunderstanding.
Please stop beating around the bush, would you? Just give it to me straight. Like I said, I'm busy.
Yeah, right. Then I better get on with it, huh? About that inheritance, it all belongs to me. Just so you guys are aware of that. All you kids must nullify all rights to my inheritance. You get that?
Boy, you don't give up, do you? I was wondering what you were going to say. Is your brain made out of money? That's all you think about. I bet you see dollar signs everywhere. In addition to that, you don't seem to know anything about anything. I'm amazed by your total stupidity.
What the hell are you talking about? What do you mean I know anything? Come on, explain yourself.
Actually, we all only learned about this the other day in the hospital. We learned that you and my dad were never really married. So, about that inheritance that you were counting on, you get nothing, I'm afraid.
Pardon me? Are you out of your mind? You've totally lost it, Irene. I'm not laughing for information, not funny. Anyways, a butt-faced lie won't pass muster with me.
It's not a lie. I checked all of Dad's documents after he passed. There's no evidence whatsoever that he even married you. No marriage certificate, no application to City Hall, nothing.
That can't be right. Did you even check the proper papers? I distinctly remember signing the marriage application. He even gave me a wedding ring. I have it right here.
Yeah, you signed it all right, but Dad never submitted. Meaning, it's just a useless piece of paper. I found the application with your name on it in Dad's desk drawer. I had no idea about the ring. So, legally speaking, you and my dad aren't married. Just total strangers. You have zero right to inherit even 1 penny.
Don't give me that crap. This is not possible. We're legally married. Check the other papers. Oh, I get it. You're making this all up so you guys can hoard the whole thing. That's what this is about, isn't it?
Why would I go through all this trouble to contact someone elaborate lie? A little checking and the whole lie would be proven false.
I don't know about that. You could falsely something. You could falsify something. Show me the proof then. I want to see the proof.
You really don't believe me, do you? You want to see his personal legal files? Okay. It's an official notarized document. I think it'll be proof enough. Nothing in here about you. Here's a photo of it.
What the hell is this? My name? Where's my name? He never legally registered me as his wife? How can that be?
Here's your proof. Straight from Dad's files. None of us knew anything about this. We all thought you guys were legally married. That's why we treated you with respect. We figured you were our legal stepmom, but you failed to return that respect.
This is not happening. How could this be? Why didn't that idiot submit the marriage application?
Did you just forget or what? Actually, we just read his will. It said he was well aware that you did not love him.
Pardon me? He knew? He knew I didn't love him? All this time? He was only pretending?
Yeah, looks that way. That's why he wasn't very concerned that you did not visit him in the hospital.
Is that why he didn't submit the application? He knew I didn't love him, and to go back at me? gonna legally make me his wife? Was this some kind of sick revenge? Is this his idea of payback?
No, I don't think it was out of vengeance. Dad was grateful for your companionship. Like you said, he was lonely after Mom died. He was thankful for the times he spent with you.
Then why did he leave me high and dry? He could have at least left me something. If he was so grateful, this is what I get in return? I feel like I've been defrauded.
Actually, Dad did it because he cared for you. For your future.
I'm supposed to be grateful for this? This is more like a mean-spirited joke.
Dad knew he didn't have long to live. That's why he didn't submit the application. He didn't want you to be a lonely widow. He probably believed you wouldn't be able to live alone without him. He did you a favor even after death.
Don't start another sob fest. If you feel so sorry for me, give me half of the inheritance. At least do that, and then I'll be out of your hair.
My father gave you his credit card when you got married. Isn't that right? You made considerable use of that card. Considering how much you spent, I think it's more than enough compensation.
But that was a pittance. I was supposed to get the whole inheritance. This is not right.
That spending spree with his card and the inheritance? These are two completely different issues. But I'm sure if we check the card statements, it'll be obvious that you spent quite a bit. I don't see why you would ask for more. That's just being greedy, but greed is your forte. You never had a modicum of love for my father. Why should you even receive anything from him?
But what was I supposed to? I mean, why did I even marry that old geezer? I waited patiently for him to pass so that I could enjoy the rest of my life.
Well, it was only a year, but you had fun while it lasted, right? You were able to buy anything you wanted. You ate at the best restaurants. What more can you ask for? I suggest you live with that memory.
The memory? Are you kidding me? I don't want memories. I want money. Memories are for chumps. Pay me if you want to get rid of me. I have that right, don't I?
My father has passed away. That makes us complete strangers. No, wait. We've always been strangers, come to think of it. You were never our stepmom.
But your dad loved me and cared about me, all right? Doesn't that count for anything? So, on behalf of your father's feelings, you should pay me.
That makes no difference now that he's gone. To me, you're like some kind of pest. Well, the pest has been neutralized. That's an invaluable outcome of this whole story. After that conversation, I blocked her from my Line app. I have to confess that I didn't want to hear her voice again. But she didn't give up that easily. It turns out because a few days later, she came barging into our home demanding that we share the inheritance. But with the help of my brothers and the threat of calling the police, we were finally able to chase her off. We warned her that we wouldn't hesitate to call the police if this persisted, and that little warning seems to have taken care of the problem. I later heard from a friend who knows her that she's in deep in debt. Apparently, after the high life she enjoyed with my father's money never really subsided, and she continued to live that extravagant lifestyle which eventually left her unable to make ends meet. She tried selling off all the jewelry and brand goods she bought with Dad's money, but it wasn't enough to cover her enormous debt. She married my dad for money, and after he passed, rather than turning her life around, her obsession with money continued undebated. Money seems to be her sole obsession. Maybe it was a fitting demise.